Well, we all remember the Colston Four, the four idiots who decided to lead this movement in Bristol to bring down the Colston statue, and that led to a new wave of all the nutters from the hard left bringing down statues, changing street names, and completely rewriting history, erasing history and our British culture. Now, they got away with it. There was a court case, and they decided that they didn't do anything wrong. And that was a massive shock to the system and to our country. Now, this time, following that verdict, we have the Attorney General of this government, Suella Braverman, who is now being in charge of taking the case to the Court of Appeal to appeal it. Now, we're going to find out exactly what the point of this process is, because is it going to be an appeal to the verdict or something else? We have the political editor of the channel, Peter Barnes, with us. Peter, explain exactly what's going on and what Suella Braverman is going to achieve.
Yeah, so they got charged, they went to court, they got found not guilty, and a verdict and ruling I don't understand, because it was basic wanton vandalism. There was no question about it. But again, the jury of their peers found them innocent. But Suella Braverman, who's the Attorney General, has the right to refer the case to the Court of Appeal. But it's really important to note it's not going to change the outcome.
Right.
So these four people are still going to remain innocent in the eyes of the courts and the law. But what Suella Braverman's looking for is clarification in the ruling for any future cases. Because there was a big question about the direction the judge gave about to the jury and about the case and about what is evidence, what isn't evidence. And the government's lawyer, the government's barrister, the other day argued that this was a violent act. And this seems to be what the entire case is rested upon. Mm-hmm. Was the act violent or not? Now, to me, as common sense would go, tearing down a statue, dragging it through the town,
largely peaceful. Come on, it's largely peaceful.
It's largely peaceful. But this is really what it's about. And if we kind of put this into context of the government's new measures on protests about, dragging people off the roads and stuff. And if you remember rightly, there's a new law about if you attack war memorials as well. Is that classed as a violent act? And so the government is just looking for clarity in all of this. But it's going to be really important, because I expect us to really move into a period of increased protests. I think we're going to get a lot more of them. I think maybe in the coming months, and particularly as we gear up to a general election as well, I think we're going to get a lot of people out on the streets. We're all a general strike as well. We're going to get trade unions out. So, I think the government's just looking for clarity. But I think it's a really important story, because it's going to talk about how our legal system, I think, has been co-opted in a way, and how it's not really so much as an objective matter, and it's now just tackling these issues that are quite, in my opinion, more political issues than legal ones. But it's going to be interesting to see where this case goes. And so it's one I recommend a lot of people keep their eye on. It won't really get a lot of mainstream attention. Yeah. So we'll probably end up talking about it later on when the verdict comes back from the Court of Appeal.
Well, thanks again for watching. I hope that clarified the whole situation for you guys. Subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.